And yeah, man, like that's why R9 Phenomenal. There is a song like, wait, I'm going to play you, man, like on the Renaldo Zaimi Spotify, and also, like all the Costantino, the first three albums, they all ended up like on the number 9, and it's not like easy like to do that. So yeah, in the 26 when I have like girl, it's like the first song is Alberto, then it's like Girl Who Gon' Stop Me, and then it's R9 Phenomenal. This is the R9 Phenomenal. Now it's time for the world to see what seems in mindset for a man can be detrimental to his identity. I'm escaping their captivity, no more mental slavery. Second by the rhythm of the fairy tales and to control me. You know that I won't dance anymore to the stupid lies that you keep telling me. It's been years and don't entertain your hate anymore. Now it's time for me to live, cause what you said about life was total bullshit. It took me so much time to finally realize the impact I have on women's hearts worldwide. So much time to understand that I have the talent for love, cause I am Renaldo the Fenomeno, Fenomeno, Fenomeno. It took me so much time to finally realize that I have a talent for love. Renaldo the Fenomeno. Shaman. It took me so much time to That's why when I make like a song, or like when I'm grateful like to God, like I always like say, I always do this, right? The Brazilian Ronaldo, when he used to score, like goals, like he used to like pinpoint like up in the sky, you know what I mean? And my dad, he used to always tell me like, when you score like goals, like you gotta like pinpoint like to the sky, like to God. And my dad believed in God. He was never like, he's not like religious or some. Yeah, you can like a lot of people, because like here in Greece there is like a lot of Christianity is dominating 99%. Like people like they tell him like, Alberto, like you should believe like in Jesus and all that stuff. But it's not like he believes, like he believes like in God. And he would come like to the house, like, and he would say like, he at that time when we lived together, Renaldo, like Jesus is like it's like the king and savior. I was like, who the fuck like told you like all these things? someone like 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 he started like telling him like about Jesus. And, like my dad like came like in the house, like, and he started like talking about Jesus and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck, bro? So yeah, like my dad, like he was like very religious. He always like, and he was like religious like to the point like of the God, like, and he would always say like, there is a God, there is a God. And whenever like my grandpa, uh God rest his soul, like he wouldn't like write my dad, you know what I mean, like his whatever he had, like the wealth that he amounted, that he succeeded to amount, he wouldn't write it like to my father, like 50% or like 20 or 30 or whatever. And he would like it, he would write it like he wrote it like to my young uncle, to my youngest, Armando. He's named after Maradona, but he doesn't like football. He doesn't. So my dad, he would like become angry. You know what I mean? He would always say like, God. My dad. P.S. My dad wasn't working, right? So he was always like waiting like from my grandpa. Like he thought like the wealth that it's nothing like in Albanian like money. It's nothing, like seriously. Nothing like to be like so depressed. And like if you work, you know what I mean, the 9 to 5, like all the Albanians, like they work like in Greece. They worked in Greece and they still working, right? You can get all that, right? So, but my dad, because like he wasn't working, and he would always like stay there, like in the in the couch, right, in the living room, and he would like be like this, like with his cigarette smoking and his frappe and the Greek coffee, and the TV on, and he would always like say, "God, hear me. There is one God. There is a God out there. All that injustice that is happening to me." And then I was right there, like I stopped, like like football, right? So I was I was like his failed dream. I was eating right on the kitchen. He would be there, and right now I can understand him, man. Like he was like Ronaldo. He stopped like football, and he would always like tell me, ah, I would always like, so I translate, right? I would always like tell you like to go to football, and we could have been rich right now, but you didn't want, Ronaldo. And he had like three teeth right here, and he would be like that, man. And then like he would like drink frappe a little bit, ah ah. And my dad, he did that, and he wrote everything to Armando. What the And I don't know, man. At that time, I didn't know about music and all that stuff. That how it would all unfold in my life. But there was something like deep inside of me, man, that I didn't care about the wealth, whatever. Like my grandpa had. I don't know, man. I was still. I was still, I think, like I was like 17, 16, 17, something like that. And I even like I was like about to go to college, but still, even like college, university, right? So even then, I was like, I don't know, there is something is not computing in the water. I was very, very, very into computers. You know what I mean? Into the web, into the internet. And my dad, he used to always like, because I stopped, staying with my parents. Because my dad, he used to always like say the same old stories, man, from the communism, like from his young years in the Albanian communist country. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. And like literally, like the communist dictator, like in Albania, he literally destroyed like a fucking nation, man. He destroyed a fucking nation. Like all the Albanians, even me, they have suffered like tremendously, man, tremendously, because of that dictator. So it's like, yeah, man, what kind of stories, right? So the same old stories about, and they used to like to be like my parents. They used to be like, uh, and I was like, "Oh, okay, but didn't you say like something at the time? What are you talking about, Ronaldo? Like, if you talked like, the uncle and ver, because like they would call him like uncle, you know what I mean? Judgy, uncle. So his name was like Enver Hoxha, and they would call him like Uncle Enver. Oh, the uncle, haha, what he would do to you, that uncle. And they were like, man, like they were still programmed. They were still programmed from all that. So yeah, and I was like very into computers, man, and America, into YouTube, a lot of YouTube, a lot of music. I tried like to download the FL. I played a little bit on the FL Studio, a little bit on Photoshop. Nothing. I didn't. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't do anything at 15, 16, 17, I think. And my dad, he used to always tell me like, "Where are you going? You are going like to the dog's place, right? To the place of the dog." To the dog's place, man. And then years later, like I would always like, I don't know, it's like it's the universe, it's God, man. Like even my aunt, like from my mom's side, they used to have like a German Shepherd, and they would lock him, like the German Shepherd. They would lock him like in a place. They wouldn't let him like to go out. You know what I mean? Like years and years, like since he was like a kid, and they would only like bring him food. And there's also like one German Shepherd like here in Alexandria. They still have him locked up, but that German Shepherd, they take him like out like on the weekends, like they let him, like run and all that stuff. And the name, like my mom, he put on the German Shepherd of my aunts. She named him like Diego. It wasn't like from Maradona. It was like from another dog that my mom is cleaning one of a house, and that house, the son of the house, he has like a dog, but it's not a German Shepherd, and he named him Diego. And my mom, because like she would always like go and clean the house, and Diego would be there. She was like, "Oh, doesn't your dog have a name?" And no, we haven't give him a name. And my mom said, "Oh, why don't you like call him Diego? Like the dog, like I go and like and clean on the house that I clean." And yeah, and that German Shepherd, man, the Diego, right? He was locked up, and I would always like parallel it, and I would always, when I would like get depressed and angry at the same time, because I have those two emotions, like they go together, because I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why the fuck like things should happen like this way? I always say like, yeah, you have me like the dog. And my dad, like he used to always like when I get in fights like with my mom, I'm like, yeah, and and I cuss on my dad, and he used to always like say like, go to the dog's place, and I'm like Diego, like the German Shepherd of the ant. And I have wasted all these years in isolation, whatever, and nobody like understands me and my pain and all that stuff. And yeah, but Diego left. They sent him, I don't know, like to another place, and he's now free. So yeah, man. And I remember like this last time that I was like in Albania, like I told my aunt, I said like, yeah, what about Diego? That time, like you had Diego, like you had him locked up, and you didn't like treat him like a soul, that stuff. Like, I was paralleling like my pain with the pain of Diego. So never mind. And yeah, man, and it always appears like a German Shepherd that is locked up in my life, you know. And but what can you do, man? Like you need like to push forward. Let's go. But a lot of people, they don't understand, man, and they judge. That's why I get angry, because they don't understand. Because sometimes you have pain, a lot of pain. You have sacrificed a lot of things. I am even to the point where I say like on the YouTube, like to people, like don't sacrifice, don't do that, man. Like keep a balance in your life. It's not healthy for. There is so much pain, man. And yeah, people, they don't understand, but it's okay, you know what I mean. And then they try like to play you, like to put you like in a position that, oh yeah, he's a manipulator and he manipulates, and he's pretending to be this and that. No, man, there is no pretend. Only God knows. Only God. And I pinpoint with two hands, not just one, two, like Messi, like Leo Messi, because Messi, when he scores a goal, he pinpoints with the two hands. And yeah, that's it. That's it, man. A lot of stories, you know what I mean? But R9 phenomenon, man. Yeah, since I was a kid, and I didn't become like a football player, but I made the nine, the phenomenon, and people, they will call me a phenomenon in the future. You know what I mean? I will say he was a phenomenon. This guy. Boom. And all of you who judge me and hate me, you can suck my dick and my balls. Or you can bring your wives, or your sisters, or your mamas. because I'm straight. I'm not gay or bisexual. If I was bisexual, I would have fucked you too, because I fuck ugly chicks.